gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. As we go, how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give you something you can talk about. Man, is that not the song that keeps on giving? Can we just give it up for Gorianna? Squirrel is acting up. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Y'all, the squirrels are acting up. The Amish, I thought it was going to be our last beacon of hope for humanity that, at least in this country, there's some Amish out here. They're living off the land. If you need to get some non-homogenized milk or whatever, non-pasteurized, whatever, you can go over there. You need to buy you a golden doodle. Girl, they acting up. They cutting up over there too. Okay. So bless her heart and all that. I hope that she's all right and all, but there's been this Amish lady. She's done now. Okay. So the headlines were going around that she actually unalived like multiple members of her family, perhaps one of her children and then her husband. But then once I started looking into it, it looks like maybe the husband just reached his demise on his own. And then, then the lady lost her mind and what she said was she sent the baby to meet Jesus. She sent him to meet the Lord, God, whatever she said. I don't know if she said Jesus, the Lord, God. I don't really exactly know. I don't know. Do the Amish believe in Jesus? Are they Christian like that? I don't know. Never asked one. But yeah, it was the son. So she's going to be going on trial. A grand jury did return an indictment for her, finding probable cause to go forward on with the criminal trial. Okay, they saying they think they're Christians. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I would say Jesus probably didn't tell you to unalive your 4-year-old. That's what I would say. Okay, so what is this? This is a video. What do I want to let's bring up this one first. This is an article from WOSU.org. And it kind of lays out some of the stuff going on here. Let me do reader view. I don't like stuff popping all around. Okay. Amish woman accused of unaliving 4-year-old son by throwing him into an Ohio lake. An Amish woman who told authorities she was testing her faith when she threw the 4-year-old son into an Ohio lake. She was charged Wednesday. I guess was that today or last week? 2 counts of aggravated. It was last week. 2 counts of aggravated murder in the boy's death. So not the husband. Authorities said Ruth R. Miller, 40 years old, of Millersburg, told investigators she believed she was acting at the direction of God when she allegedly unalived her son, Vincent, at Atwood Lake early Saturday. The lead investigator with the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Office, Captain Adam Fisher, said Wednesday that Ruth Miller repeatedly said in interviews with police that she threw the boy off the dock and into the water to give him to God. The cops said it did not appear that the gravity of the situation had sunk in. The woman's husband, Marcus J. Miller, 45 years old, had apparently drowned while attempting to swim to an offshore sandbank hours earlier in another test of faith. The sheriff, Orvis Campbell, told reporters at a news conference on Monday their other children, who included a 15-year-old girl and twin 18-year-old boys, were also directed to perform water-based trials of their belief, but they survived. So they were doing the Amish witch trials out here, y'all. The husband was swimming out to an offshore sandbank. He drowned trying to test his faith, according to this article. I wasn't there. 15-year-old and the 18-year-old boys, the 15-year-old girl, 18-year-old boys, they were also directed to perform water-based trials of their belief, but they survived. And then the mom just gave the 4-year-old to God, saying, look, let the 4-year-old swim if need be. If not, God, you take him. And then he got took by God, if you know what I mean. New Philadelphia Municipal Court online records indicate Ruth Miller was also charged with domestic violence and child endangerment regarding the older children. Authorities said Ruth Miller was receiving treatment at a secure mental health facility and she had not been arrested by I think this has to be this is last week, last Wednesday afternoon. A message seeking comment was later left for her attorney, who is Scott Fromson. Family members and the Millers Church said in a statement that the deaths do not reflect the Amish teachings or beliefs. Instead, they are a result of mental illness. The ministry and extended family had been walking with them through their past challenges, and they also received professional help in the past. Now, what is professional help, girl? I don't know. But this is a quote from the family members and the Miller's Church, which doesn't surprise me that would be coming from the same direction. I mean, I have a lot of questions, but I'm not going to immediately jump to like assuming that somehow this is related to like the Amish faith or the Amish religion. But that being said, I mean, I don't know anything about it really. Um, do they have these water trials in the Amish faith? Somebody maybe tell me. I mean, it's kind of hard to get in contact with them. Don't they not use electricity? Well, here's the thing. I think they done started coming into the modern times a little bit. Some of them do have cell phones and stuff now. Um, I don't really know where it stands as of today. The article goes on. Campbell, I think this is the sheriff guy person. Who's Campbell? No, that's Fisher. Sheriff. Okay. So the sheriff said Ruth Miller told investigators she believed she could walk on water. But when she tried doing so off the end of the dock, she simply fell into the water. She and her husband went to this dock and jumped in the water because God was speaking to them, telling them to do these things to prove their worthiness to God. Marcus and Vincent Miller were apparently both no longer living when authorities were called Saturday morning for a report of a golf cart having gone into the lake. So this makes me wonder, like, if this had happened like at their home or something, like who's calling the cops? Marcus and Vincent were both unalive when the authorities were called. Why were the authorities called? For a report of a golf cart going into the lake. The sheriff said Ruth Miller had driven it at a high speed into a stone. What? Jesus. Into a stone wall on the lake shore with the 3 older children on board. The cart ended up fully submerged, but visible, and the 3 children stood on it before getting out of the water. When a rescuer tried to get Ruth Miller out of the water, she told them just to pray for her. The park rangers heard concerning type statements from Ruth Miller. The sheriff said, quote, there was a pretty immediate statement made that she had given her son to the Lord. Authorities soon realized her husband and 4-year-old son were missing. This is a quote from the sheriff, Campbell. He said, quote, she began to express more that she had thrown the child in the water to give the child to God, but we didn't know where in the water. It's a big lake. He said that Ruth Miller was in mental crisis. Searchers focused near the dock where authorities said the Millers had apparently tried to walk on water the night before. Around 6 p.m. Saturday, a diver found Vincent on the lake bed not far from the end of the dock. Early Sunday morning, divers also found Marcus Miller's body 53 yards or 48 meters from the dock. The coroner said autopsies and an investigation will determine the manner of the 2 unalivings, so they haven't determined the manner yet. The couple's surviving children were extremely confused and upset. Their mindset was that whatever their mother and father says, that's the way it is. They just don't question anything. When they're told to jump in the lake, they jump in the lake. Amish are part of a Christian movement professing nonviolence, although they have their cases of domestic violence and abuse. Advocates for victims of abuse among the Amish say that although church leaders have acknowledged the problem, they need to do more to respond to abuse as a crime to be reported to civil authorities, not just a matter of church discipline. The family lived in Holmes County, Ohio, which has a large Amish community. They also had gone to Atwood Lake, about 82 miles or 132 kilometers south of Cleveland, in a recreational vehicle as a getaway, arriving Friday, which was Ruth Miller's birthday. Girl, she was born the day after me. Well, I mean, she's older than me. So that was one of the things I wanted to show y'all. There's a few other links that I have here. Let me show you this video. Wait, hold on. Why isn't it clicking? Okay, there we go. What's this? Oh, okay. So this is just like the actual guilty plea. Okay, well, hold off on that. I don't want to show that one yet. Let's get some more context. This is Law and Crime.
And this woman was reaching out and touching that officer.
Right.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to turn the captions on.
People are going to tell me that I'm crazy.
Do I have this on? Oh my God, it's like aggravating sounding. Okay, hold on. Yeah, let's turn on stable volume.
The body camera video. Whoa. The body camera video I'm about to show you is truly chilling because you're about to see a mom admit on camera to law enforcement that she drowned her
I'm not trying to get
religious
terms.
experience.
I should just sit with my children and have water.
This is the body camera video just released of Ruth Miller when she was arrested on August 23rd.
So there's the this is like a Law and Crime one. This was posted a day ago. That's why I wanted to show y'all that one. Wait, I want to show y'all something. Hold on. Oh, this is a nice
Ruth Miller when she was arrested
flashback.
On August 23rd, and it's a lot to take in.
Y'all see that red truck over there? This one right here, that looks like pretty much like my first car. I had a red truck like kind of like that. I mean, it was a little bit more, you know, embellished, but yeah, it was a hand-me-down from my dad. Okay, anyway, okay. So she was arrested on August 23rd. Here is video of her. Here she is. She's got her little, you know, kerchief on her head, and she's got her dress, and she's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of that Turpin. Remember that Turpin mom? And she was like so sweet. And she just had this soft, soft voice. And shout out to the mods in the chat. Hey, Monica. Hey, Oklahoma Outlaw. I don't know who else is in here. I just see the most two recent. Thanks so much. You'll clap when I'm gone. Being a member for 18 months. Remember to like and check if you're still subscribed. Y'all know sometimes people be getting inadvertently unsubscribed. Yes, they do. So, okay. So she's got this like kind of like really sweet, like, you know, affect, but listen, that don't work on me. That don't fool me. Not one bit. Nope. Not one bit. I am impervious. I am immune. You can have the most babyest voice. You can be any religion you want. That don't mean nothing to me. But it does seem to kind of work on these cops. And remember, this isn't her. This isn't her like hometown cops. This is like, I guess, hours away from where they are actually from and where they live. So this isn't like, oh, local Amish, like, you know, these are the Amish down the street. Now, maybe there's a lot of Amish over here too at the Lake Atwood. But this is like not like hometown, like her hometown cops. This is like she came in from out of town and she's saying she gave her baby to God and the baby is no longer with us. So, I mean, I think they're being a little bit too nice to her, but I'm not a cop, you know, I'm not the one out there. Hopefully she gets the justice she deserves and all that. And look, listen, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, there's a lot of stories, and I think this is on purpose. I think that most of the media that we get is like curated. Certain topics are allowed and they're pushed in the algorithm. Certain topics are not, and you're punished for talking about them, you know, in the extreme sense. But I've been trying to warn y'all, anybody who will listen really, for the past 5 years at least, that they are trying to implement laws which will impugn or infringe or hinder all of our rights. And it's because they call certain things other things. So they'll call like a peaceful protest a riot, or they'll call a sociopathic murderer someone in mental health crisis, so that we're like, oh no, they couldn't help it. It was mental health. We got to put more billions of dollars, even though Gavin Newsom lost 24 or 46 billion, whatever it was. We got to just keep giving more people more money for mental health. No. Okay. I'm like full on like reformed abolitionist out here. Okay. I used to be one of these people out here saying, no, we shouldn't have no more jails. That's not true. We should have jail. We should have jail. Absolutely. Some people are killers. Some people are child abusers. I don't want them out here with me. I don't want them out here with me. I don't want somebody that's abusing children every time they go on the internet, just on the internet all the time. Actually, no, they should be in jail. And until or unless somebody can show me that these people can be reformed, maybe we should keep jail. There's people that get out and they go kill people. Okay. So let's not get carried away. Okay. That being said, she may be mentally unwell. I'm the last person going to tell y'all I'm a doctor. She might be mentally unwell. But we've kind of developed like this two-part system now of justice where it's like, if you're mentally unwell, you get a certain route. And if you're mentally not unwell, you get another route. But I'm going to postulate, if you can do a violent criminal offense, you might just be mentally unwell. Maybe something is wrong with you. So why do we have all this two-part system of justice? One of them's got all the full rights. One of them don't. One of them, they can drug you against your will even more. Why don't we just do, if you do the crime, you go to jail? Can we just do that? Well, let's get back to that. If you do the crime and you're found guilty, you go to jail. Can we just go back to that? Because all this like sideshow is just making it to where they're going to have us all in asylums. Okay. They're going to have us in asylums and we're not even going to have the rights that we have in a freaking jail. I've been trying to tell y'all this for 5 years. If you're ever offered, this is not legal advice, so I'll just say it for myself. If I'm ever offered, you can go to the mental asylum or you can go to jail, I'm going to jail because you can at least talk to your lawyer over there. Okay. This woman might be mentally unwell. I would say, I'm not an expert. She definitely is, if you're asking me my opinion. Certainly. But if you're so mentally unwell that you cannot get through a camping trip without unaliving your own baby son, you might need to be in a fucking cage. No? Where is Adam Grand Mason's video? Because Adam Grand Mason said women like me should be locked up. Locked up? Why? Why was he saying that? Well, because I told y'all somebody lied about how somebody died. But I think this is all just a little push. Oh, we need mental health. We need mental health. We need mental health. No, we need to castrate sex offenders of children. That's what we need to do. We need to start giving the death penalty out a little bit more liberally. We need to make people scared to commit crimes. Okay. Because right now, the criminals and the clowns are running everything. Okay. And this is coming from somebody that just a few short years ago, I was extremely critical of the criminal justice system insofar as I'm like, oh, we might not even need jails. Now, for sure, people get put in jail, don't need to be in jail. I'm sure any of my ops would love if I was in jail for saying true things that are in the public domain already. Okay, not everybody in jail deserves to be in jail. That's not what I'm saying. But if you can't make it through a family picnic without unaliving your kid, I don't know why you get special treatment just because somebody can say you got a mental problem. Don't we all have a mental problem by this point? Anybody that made it through 2020 alone probably has a couple lingering mental problems, right? Anybody that watches the garbage they put on TV, anybody that's exposed to the whatever they have coming out of the 5G and the this and the that, anybody exposed to that probably got a mental problem at this point. So why we got all these different sets of rules? I'm just saying this because the writing has been on the wall for a long time, and I'm seeing people arf like seals into our own enslavement. For free speech activities, people are getting locked up. Okay. For criticizing the government, people are getting locked up. But people killing their own kids are getting special kid glove treatment. It's stupid to me. People exposing predators on Roblox are losing their Roblox accounts, and the predators' accounts are still up. This is where we live, and I'm just sick of it, and I don't consent. I don't consent. I'm never going to, never going to hear me out here saying, oh, this is normal and this is okay, because it's not. It's deplorable. Now, the woman might have been in a religious psychosis. I don't know this particular woman's story. She might have been getting abused by that husband. She might be a sociopath. Okay? We don't know. Let's see a little more of this.
This is Ruth Miller's
There she
mugshot. She
is.
and her family are members of an Amish community in Ohio. Police say that Miller, her husband, their twin 18-year-old sons and 15-year-old daughter, as well as 4-year-old son, went to a lake south of Akron. It's about an hour and a half's drive west of Pittsburgh.
So see where they were?
Local law enforcement said they got a 911 call that morning about a woman driving a golf cart with 3 other people on board.
It does make me wonder, and put a one in the chat if you're also wondering. Had this happened over there on their own property over there, would anybody have called and reported the golf cart in the lake? It's almost like, was this lady like, was this her last? It's like, okay, so she realized her husband's gone. What's she going to do with, to take care of these kids and stuff? She, in her mind, it's like an act of mercy, gets rid of the 4-year-old and then, or whatever. And then is like, oh, well, I'm going to drown myself too. But then somebody called the cops. See, I see some ones.
The local sheriff's office of the golf cart in the water. And here's what the local sheriff said at a news conference per WEWS TV out of Cleveland.
At the time that we received the call, people didn't realize.
We should go watch the news conference. I didn't see the news conference. I just saw it in this law and crime thing.
As though it could have been an unintentional event. It could have just been an accident, but it was a woman and 3 children on that golf cart.
But then the sheriff said when they first heard what Miller allegedly said to witnesses, this was about to be something more serious.
The first witness that arrives, the help, is asking the woman, does she need help up? And he tries to help, and she suggests to him not to help her, to just pray for her.
When deputies spoke to Miller, as you'll see.
So she said, no, I don't want help. And just pray for me. She's like in the golf cart or near the golf, like she's in the water, and she's like, just pray. And like, it certainly seems like something was mentally wrong, but like, isn't something mentally wrong with anybody that can do this type of behavior? Like, why doesn't everyone that hurts a kid just say, oh, I got a mental problem? She pled insanity today, not guilty by reason of insanity. So what, they going to do? Put her in an asylum? Like, I mean, why can't, no. What do you mean not guilty by reason of insanity? Aren't all criminals like a little bit insane? If you could hurt a child like this, I think you insane. Something wrong with you.
Her son, but her twin 18-year-old sons were okay. They were right there. Then they realized that she was talking about her 4-year-old. And here's what deputies saw when they first arrived.
Okay, here they go. They're walking up on him. This is the body camera. Look at her. She got the whole circle around her.
Yes.
And like, again, like I already told y'all, I could see straight through this. I could see straight freaking through this. This little soft voice woman I grew up damn near Pentecostal. Okay. So a little soft voice lady, mama in a dress, I'm immune. It don't do shit to me. But you can kind of see the spell that it casts around these other officers. They're like, look at the kids, how they're just holding her arms like this poor thing. No, you can't give your baby to God, lady. No. All this goo 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 gaga coddling bullshit. No. Did anybody goo goo gaga the 4-year-old? Did anybody goo goo gaga Vincent Miller in his last moments when he was being given to God? No. Now, do I think they should slam the lady down on the ground and kick her in the face or something? Hell no, I don't. But this is just too much. It's aggravating, and you gave him to God. And it's almost as if like the way that she's presenting and the way that she's carrying herself, it almost appears to me like she knows for a fact that she's not about to have to face the full brunt of the criminal justice system. I mean, how do we know she's not freaking acting? Because her little plan got spoiled. She tried to unalive these other kids that are carrying her through the field right now, apparently, according to the news article.
I threw him in the lake and I gave him to God. And People are going to tell me I am crazy, but he is real, and he loves you.
God is real, and he probably do love you, but he don't love when you do that to your kids.
And I doubted him. I doubted him. So
Well, that's
many
your problem,
times.
girl.
But I am to tell you, he is coming soon.
Why do Amish sound so
He is
much like the
coming very soon.
Mormons
Prepare your hearts.
with the voices?
The end is close. And I'm for
For
sure
you?
supposed to tell you that he does love you.
Okay, tell me.
Okay.
And again, I know that because of the propaganda we get fed, and frankly, because of some people's personal experiences, you know, that does happen. Let's take away race for a moment. Let's just take away race. Okay, let's take away race. Let's even take away gender. Is it every single white woman that comes into contact with the police gets to just put their hands all over them like that? Because look, listen, from one Karen, okay, from one Karen, I'm about as nice as I can be to a cop when I come across them. And I promise you, if I started putting my hands on a police officer, it wouldn't be allowed for this freaking long. It's like a hypnosis that she's got these people under. It's very scary. And I think she needs to be in a cage. I mean, that's my opinion. It's just like that one woman that started screaming. Remember that woman and the daughter? They were trying to do the so-called alleged honor killing. It was a mom and a dad trying to basically like arrange marriage, their daughter. This is what the news was reporting, and ship her off to Iran or something. And then she ended up running away, and then they tried to kill her. And they just went on trial this summer. They got found not guilty of trying to kill her, I think, but they did get found guilty of something. And when the cops came to the scene, they were screaming and they were crying. They tried to kill me. Or how about Linda Omar? How about that one? Do y'all remember Linda Omar? She tried to. All the while, Dahlia was the one in the bathtub coughing her freaking lungs up as if she actually was the one who had been choked. Way bigger and more domineering was Linda Omar. But when the cops came, she tried to hurt me. I've seen this freaking song and dance, buddy. No. And what about that unknown number? That freak. The #1 show on Netflix right now was the mom that was stalking and harassing and sexually abusing her own minor daughter as if she were like a stranger stalker for like almost 2 years. So this little sniffling, snoveling mommy thing, it don't work on me. I'm immune. It don't work on me. Actually, when you a grown freaking woman, bitch, speak. You a grown up, and you in a real grown up situation, actually. It actually makes me a little suspicious, actually.
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened? Who did you throw in the water?
I gave my son to God.
Son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat, and his clothes were there. And God told me he's in the lake, and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for
Girl,
him.
she thinks she's in Jonah and the whale, girl. She thinks the husband's in the fish belly. She said he's in the lake and a fish swallowed him. It's not just he's in the lake. The fish also swallowed. The fish has also swallowed. That's very interesting.
And you will find the fish, and you will find the husband, and then you will believe. But ye with little faith that did not believe before seeing. So,
this is one thing that I still got triggers. Okay, for the most part, I don't get triggered. For the most part, I don't get triggered. But something about a no makeup ass bitch in a maxi dress quoting Bible verses whenever they actually are doing something deplorable and disgusting. Something about that just snatches me right back to about 1998 in Port Allen, Louisiana, or maybe like Irwinville, or maybe like, I don't know, First Pentecostal Church Jefferson or something. It's like, take one of the peppermints out your purse and eat it, bitch, because I know your breath probably stank with all the lies coming out. All right. Something about it, oh ye of little faith. I almost feel like I get possessed by the spirit of Jesus Christ himself, and I feel like I want to flip some tables over. People are agreeing. People are agreeing. It triggers. My whole head is freaking tingling. And you know what? I rebuke. Not in my father's house, nor my mama's house. Get the butterscotch, get the peppermint. Because I know the breath stinks. He's in the fish stomach.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4.
He's sweet. I love him. I gave him.
Okay. 7940 Central. We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
At this point, deputies are now trying to comprehend what happened.
Me
They
too.
are trying to figure out where her 4-year-old is.
Look at him in the boat.
They're also looking for her husband.
They are there.
Okay, I want to show y'all a different body cam because I don't need this man's commentary. Hold on. This is like a little 9-minute one. It's too loud. Okay. Let's see.
I doubted him.
Okay, this is like about where we were, right?
But I am to tell you, he is coming soon.
Let's get the thing that triggered me again. This was the trigger.
He is coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close. And I'm for sure supposed to tell you that he does love you. Okay?
Ma'am, can you explain to me what happened?
He's mouth breathing.
I gave my son to God.
Your son?
Yes.
Where's your husband?
He went for a walk this morning.
And you haven't seen him
He
since?
didn't ever come back. And we went to the boat and his clothes
He
were
went
there.
for a walk this morning, but then the newspaper, the article that we read was reporting that he was doing a water trial, a water-based faith-based trial, a faith-based water trial. It's not funny. It's sad. I think it is actually very sad whenever people get like so warped up into these like religious delusions that they like do things that are dangerous and then kids die. Like, obviously that's not like, I'm actually like pretty okay with people being delusional, like about religion. I'm like actually pretty okay with them thinking God told them something even, you know, but can it be God told me this morning I need to get my 10,000 steps? Can it be God told me, amen, Jesus, this morning that I need to make sure to wash the dishes when I get back home, that I need to eat my broccoli? Can it be God told me stuff like that? God told me to make sure I file my taxes on time this year. You know, it's got to be God told me to give my son to the lake knowing he can't swim. He's 4 years old. It's got to be that. It's got to be God told me, I know for a fact, that surprise witness was doing cocaine off of her makeup brush. It's got to be God told him the most craziest, harmful, delusional shit that hurts other people. It can't be God told me to brush my teeth with fluoride-free toothpaste. It's got to be God told me this crazy shit.
God told me he's in the lake and a fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. And you will find the fish. And you will find the husband. And then you will believe. But ye of your little faith that did not believe before seeing.
Okay.
So send people down to the bottom of the lake looking for a fish. That has been happening.
How old's your son that's in the lake?
4. He's sweet. I love him.
He's sweet and I love him, she said.
Okay. 7940 Central.
He's sweet and I love him. All right, now what?
We're out with the mother. She is advising that she threw her 4-year-old son in the lake to give him to God.
And like, not to be that, person or whatever, but I mean, how I really know these people aren't even Amish. Can we get some proof? I mean, anybody can shave their beard like that and put on a maxi dress, girl. I think I got one like that in my closet. It's got flowers on it.
do you believe? They are there. You're fine. Please.
Yeah, seriously, what were they doing in that golf cart? Look, she's just touching everybody. I'm telling you one thing. If I'm suspected of throwing a 4-year-old in the river, I'm not going to be allowed to be touching cops like this. I'm going to be in handcuffs in the back of the car.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
He said, I need to know where your husband is. And she said, he's at the bottom of the lake in a fish. He said, there ain't no fish big enough in that lake for to swallow your husband, lady.
And that would just swallow your husband.
He's at the bottom of the lake in a fish.
Okay. I thought your husband went for a walk.
Yeah, and then we came to the boat.
He went for a walk and then hit the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
Yeah, they found it.
Tan pants and cream shirt and flip-flops.
Do you have a cell phone?
It's in the camper.
It's in the camper. Where's your camper at?
I think it's,
Area 3?
I think so. Yeah. It's like a tannish camper.
It's a tannish camper. You don't know what lot number it is?
No.
Because we really need to verify your husband's still with us.
Oh, okay.
He's dead.
Well,
He's in a fish.
Actually, you just go out in the bottom of the lake.
And for somebody that don't know nothing about somebody that's supposedly don't know nothing about electronics, and I mean, again, like I said, I don't know how far they have come in allowing, this looks more maybe like a Mennonite than an Amish, like somebody had said earlier, because I mean, this lady got all kind of seams and pleats on her clothes, and the Amish, they still use straight pins to hold their stuff together, like the real Orthodox ones. So I don't know, maybe this is a different type of Amish where they allowed to, have elbows showing and stuff. But this looks, she's like a hoochie mama. And when it comes to Amish, Pentecostals don't even show their elbows, So this is, I don't know what she's doing. It's a flusy. She's got the Jezebel spirit. I mean, maybe that's what it is. The Jezebel spirit done possessed her. I don't know. But for somebody that's supposedly, so, minimalistic when it comes to electronics, electricity, et cetera, look at them back there. Me, I'm them. Me and my girls. This is me and the cousins. Like, girl, what the fuck? This one gets called in to kneeling down on the ground a while ago. In a minute, she gets called down to kneeling on the ground. You'll see. Anyway, I got distracted. So for somebody that supposedly don't have like a whole lot of knowledge, this is the reason I'm pointing this out is because this is the archetype, this is the stereotype that she gets the benefit of with dealing with the cops. And again, I'm not saying it's because she's a white lady, because I promise you, me looking just like this, I'm not going to be allowed to touch a cop. I never have even thought that I would be able to do that. No, not when I'm suspected of this. It's the whole thing. It's not just white lady. It's that she looks like that. She's only 40 years old. She's 5 years older than me. Okay. She's choosing to look like this. I don't know how premeditated this was. She's obviously trying to elicit the emotions of, or the compassion or the sympathy of like, oh, I think God, right? A religious person. She's using her children, in my opinion, as props to prop up this image of this sweet, innocent, saintly, religious lady, mother. And this soft voice, we've heard that before. She was set to be released. We're going to use her as a case study. Okay. So just because somebody got allowed, that doesn't mean that they're not sinister. Okay. It doesn't mean they necessarily are. But this woman has a freaking plan. She says, you're going to hear her say it right now. I backspaced or rewinded over like 10 seconds. She's going to say, okay, well, you're going to find my husband. Do you have scuba divers? Bitch, how you know what a scuba diver is? Do you have scuba divers? You should get the scuba divers to go and use go scuba dive, and they can find. Watch.
We really need to verify your husband's still with us.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, he's actually, just go out in the bottom of the lake.
Well, I can't go in the bottom of the lake. So
Do you have scuba divers?
Yeah, we're going to have to call divers in to go to the bottom of the lake.
Please do.
And you're saying
the best ones there are. Because this is a miracle from God.
Get the best divers there are, because this is a miracle from God. And you're going to see when you dive to the bottom of the lake that my husband is in a fish's mouth.
You're saying your 4-year-old son's down there too?
He's with God.
Where's his body at? Where did you throw him in the water at?
Off of the dock at the causeway.
Where the bike was today? Where the boat was?
Yeah, where the boat was. I know.
When they're supposed to be once coming out there. I think there was once.
Does anybody have a glass of water?
Now she's making demands, girl. Now she wants a glass, not just some water. She wants a glass of water. Does anybody have a glass of water? Bitch, you should have thought about that before you gave your child to God. How's she know about the divers? Amish women aren't even allowed to touch men, somebody said. Lori said. Emerald, great point. I agree entirely. She's using religious terminology, but she sounds perfectly able to express the situation with religious euphemisms. That doesn't make you insane. Exactly.
So, we're right now we're gonna walk up to the squad, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're gonna put you in the back of the squad.
You will find my husband.
Okay, but you want to sit down in the back of the squad for us, okay?
Can I actually just sit with my children? Yeah. And have water?
Yeah, we can bring your children over.
Can I just sit with my children and actually, okay, I know. I'm laughing because I'm trying to think about like how I would probably have a concussion after expressing something like this to a cop. Okay, ma'am, we're going to walk you over to the squad car. We got 2 dead people. One of them's your kid. We're going to walk you over. First of all, that was a very polite announcement. And I don't know if Garden State Accountability is still in here. They almost got arrested for taking a picture in a public area the other day. I mean, the voodoo did not work on that cop. He must got an Amish mama or something. Hey, imagine it's like, all right, well, there's, one of your kids is no longer among the living. You gave him to God. So we're going to go put you in the back of the car. Actually, she says, could we actually, that's a good idea and stuff, but could I just sit with my kids and you run and fetch me something to drink? That'd be better for me. Where do I sign up? I want to sign up to get this treatment. Okay. Cause I'm not going to do any of the behaviors what she's accused of. I can promise you that. But and again, y'all, I don't think they should slam her down on the ground or something. But at the very least, no, your ass is getting cuffed as is protocol. And you're sitting in the back of the squad car. I'm not going to let you go to your kids and talk to them and get your freaking story straight. These are adult kids, 15 and 18 and 2 18-year-olds. I think they said 2 of them's adults. Or are they 16? How old are those kids?
We'll bring them over.
Where's my children?
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Kyle wants to go get you one.
You guys send the dive team over that way then? Which dock is that so I can tell my dispatch?
That's cluster dock, the center cluster dock.
Center cluster.
On the causeway. Causeway center.
Causeway Center.
They in Ohio.
7940 Central.
This is the body cam.
You said it's the Causeway Center dock, right? Causeway Center dock. 7940 Central. The mother is advising that her boat is located if you just want to walk at the Causeway Center dock, and that's where she threw the child in the water. She's also now saying that the husband's in the water. She's going to walk that and notify the dive team. The Rangers are heading over that way right now.
Look at this one out here comforting her.
Where,
Okay, this is the woman. This is how she controls people. Okay. So I rewinded it 10 seconds. This is how this woman controls people. Okay. It's called manipulation. It's a psychological tactic. She's very good at it. But unfortunately for people like her, people like me exist. And I'm just freaking immune. It's just, I know exactly what I'm looking at. Now, I mean, I don't even know if she's doing it on purpose. She might have just learned throughout the years that this is the only thing that gets results for her or whatever. But she's going to tell this woman on the right who's, attending to her, she's going to say, kneel down with me so that we can pray. And this woman on the right's like, nah, bro, like I got knee problems. I don't want to kneel down. And this woman says she says with full conviction, she's like, I promise you it's not going to hurt. It's just not going to. You're going to go to do it and it's just not going to. Because this is that blind faith thing, like some of the Pentecostals have it, the evangelicals, the apostolics, not all of them. Shout out to y'all if you're in the chat. If you've made it this far, then you're probably one of the ones with sense. But they got some crazies out there. I grew up in it. I know they there. Okay, don't argue with your mama. Don't argue with me. Okay. It's this blind faith. I was taught as a child at revival, when they have a church revival, that if you just simply have enough faith, you could run physically through a wall. And I've seen men try to run through a wall. Okay. This is why I was an atheist for many years, because I was like, if this is religion, it's freaking insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like harmful, like physically harmful. People passing out, hitting their heads on stuff, running the pews, bumping it. No, y'all can do that if y'all want, but that didn't feel like it was very godly to me. This blind faith at the expense of using the reason that God gave you did not ever make sense to me. Never. And watch what she's about to do. Watch what she's about to do. It's not going to hurt you. If you're getting down to pray to God, it won't hurt. And this is, I'm sure, what she did to her husband, her children. Just walk out on there. You're going to be able to walk on water. And if you can't, just like the Salem witch trials, it's your moral deficit. It's because there was a lack of faith. There was a lack of faith. Watch her. I want to go somewhere where it's not too hard on my knee. And this lady says, actually, your knee won't hurt. Please trust me. I'm going to put the speaker closer and start it again. Listen.
It's not too hard on my knee. So your knee won't hurt you. Please trust me. Okay. It won't hurt you. Okay. It won't hurt you. You're fine.
I might have would have kicked her in the knee. Okay. I would have said, maybe your knee won't hurt. I'm standing up.
Please show this woman. It is true.
While she's doing this demon prayer, I'm going to be praying to the one true God, because we're not serving the same one, me and her. So I'm just going to be doing that. I would invite y'all to do that too, because I don't want her demons getting on me from this prayer.
Stay strong. Please show her that it is true what I'm telling you.
Please, God, show her that it is true, my lie, that there's a fish that ate my husband. And please let me sit with my children under the tree you created. She can't even get up, this poor lady.
You guys just gonna,
I love them too.
you guys gonna bring her over that
They're
way?
fun.
Yeah, we'll take her.
Okay. So we can get closer to the rest of everybody else.
Anyway, there's that whole thing. Yeah, no, I totally rebuke. It's just too much. No, ain't no way the cops in Louisiana would allow that. No, they're not sympathetic to nobody like that. It's too much. Watch her be like, no, I can't wear the orange jumpsuit. I need an orange jump skirt with the little babushka on the top. Okay, hold on. Let me see. So then she got arraigned yesterday. So I wanted to show y'all that video too, or at least some of it.
As well at this table, to your left, my right. His attorney is Ryan Steyer. He is our county prosecutor in Tuscarawas County.
Okay, so this is,
handling
we're not going to watch this whole arraignment because a lot of it is just the judge like reading like, you're charged with this, you're charged with that. But this is her new look. It's not orange, it's blue. And I gotta say, she does look extremely different from the last scene we saw her in. She does have a public defender. I think it's this guy here. And then you have, this is very strange. I've never seen this before, but at the same table. I mean, I don't know if it's like unusual. It might happen all the time, but to me, it would feel like strange and tense. This is apparently the state's attorneys, so like the prosecutors. And then this over here is her lawyers, and she has to sit in the middle. I'd be like, no, I don't want to sit by them. I mean, not that she, shouldn't necessarily be given a whole bunch of options, but I'm just saying, like, I would find it odd to have to sit right there next to these people. If I was a defendant. What is this? This like opening statement? What is this? I didn't even see this. Hold up.
These two. Thank you. Now, the two women that were in the two benches.
I hope they're okay.
Is there?
I don't think it was
Like
that.
a gossiping.
Is there some other avenue other than usually as a term of a bail? I would say you can't have contact with the victim because I'm not setting any bail. Is there some other avenue in which this could be?
So he's not setting bail.
I think anytime if you are putting on an entry as it relates to bail, I think anytime you do that.
Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
To set restrictions.
I haven't watched this full thing. It was so long.
As soon as possible. So I am going to have you remanded back to the jail where you will be held.
No bail.
And I'll make a decision as to whether or not I agree with the state or agree with your counsel and set what I believe to be, what I believe is the appropriate decision. The state of Ohio
Okay.
I believe
The state of Ohio is who's charging this case. The state of Ohio has requested that she not get any bail, which the judge granted. And the state of Ohio has also requested that she not be allowed to contact any of the, quote, surviving victims. That would be the rest of the kids that are still alive, the teenage ones. So she got two twin boys. I don't know. I think I remember reading that they were 18. How old are these boys? Yeah, twin 18-year-olds. So they're not children. So I don't know how she could be endangering the 18-year-olds. They're adults, but they do have a 15-year-old daughter who is, would be a minor. So the judge, then you can see the transcript here. What I believe is the appropriate decision. The state of Ohio's request is, I believe, a reasonable one, not to have contact with those surviving victims in this matter. And then he kind of gets into a procedural issue. He's like, I'm not setting bail. So usually he would be doing something with the bail order as far as making the restraining order. Hold it in abeyance, not setting any bail at this point. I think it would be prudent at this point. I would urge the court to implement immediately a no contact order with regard to all of the children. She does have phone privileges in jail. So there is some potential that she could be in contact with the children. That needs to be prohibited. This is what the state is asking. Let me just ask you right now, is there some other avenue other than usually a term of bail? Okay. I'm just giving over some of the procedural stuff. I don't think that's as important for the moment. If the court were to impose immediately a no contact order, either directly or indirectly with her children, and if we were later to learn that there was an infraction, we could bring that to the attention of the court. We could go to the jail and take corrective measures. Okay, so the judge didn't decide for sure, like yes or no, whether or not she's allowed to have contact with the kids. He said he wanted, or she, I don't know if the judge is a he or a he. Yeah, I did see the judge. He's a he. The judge does not want to make the decision. Kind of, he's pulling like a little bit of like we've seen this with Judge Subramanian in the Diddy case, where he'll kind of make a tentative decision, but then he'll say, I need to look at some things first, and then I'll put the order in. So the judge is saying he wants to check and look at some things before he puts the order in for sure. Okay. And then her lawyer had a press conference outside. So let's get a little bit of that. I haven't watched the whole thing, but this is a public defender. This is somebody that she would have been appointed as an indigent defendant, somebody that can't afford their own legal defense. Okay, let's see. Here he comes.
Yeah, I just have to wait for you.
There he is. That's her lawyer, her defense lawyer.
Yeah, I just have to wait for your colleague.
Where's he been?
What's that?
Where's he been?
That I don't know.
Oh, girl, why are they doing that to my boy? Why they did not need to do that? Maybe they trying to get the right resolution. It's blurry. They need to get it right. Okay, can we go forward? I don't want to wait here all day on you. You gonna start talking, buddy?
We entered a plea of not guilty by reason of
Okay, here we go.
Today. It was based upon the.
All set?
Yeah.
Ian, why are you pleading not guilty by reason of insanity?
We entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity today because based upon the facts of this case, it's very evident that it is fitting. This case would not have happened but for a mental defect that would have prevented Ms. Miller from appreciating the wrongfulness of her conduct.
What happened on that day in your estimation?
Well, there clearly was a serious mental disease that she faced. It was evident to the responding officers, the first responders, and unfortunately, it was a tragedy that happened that day. Again, clearly would not have happened but for it.
If she is found not guilty by reason of insanity, what happens?
No, that would be up to the judge, but there would be. It's not as people generally think that if someone's found not guilty by reason of insanity, they're just released to the street. They're released to the custody of a lockdown hospital.
You go to the asylum. You go to the asylum. And listen, I know, and this is why I think they do allow these cases to go mainstream. They put them out there. I might even be participating in it, by talking about it. But I feel like when I'm talking about it, it's different because I'm telling y'all what I feel like. I'm trying to combat what I believe to be propaganda. Because if you've watched this video for 57 minutes, you know exactly how I feel about this lady. Okay. I'm not sympathetic in any way to her or her cause. I think she needs to be in a cage. That's my opinion so far based on the evidence I've gotten. Okay. That's my opinion. That being said, why can't she be in a cage out of jail? Why she got to be at an asylum? Because, the one thing about these asylums, there's a bunch of things, but one of the things about them is it's not like whenever you get sentenced to jail. It's like, okay, well, you were found guilty on whatever, vehicular, drunk driving, manslaughter. It's 12 years in prison. Do your 12 years. Get out in 10 or whatever. You hear these stories or whatever. It's bad. It's horrible. But, this is how the system works. Not everybody that commits a crime goes to jail for their whole life, or prison rather. But in these cases, at least you know what your term is. Now, if you commit a crime in jail, if you get charged with another one while you're in jail, you could tack on to the sentence, but at least you know how long you're about to be in jail. In these asylums where you're not guilty reason of insanity, you never get a get out date. You might get out, you might not. It's like not the same thing. A lot of the protections don't even apply. So again, what's the point? Why can't we just check her again after her prison sentence? And I mean, she did unalive her own child. She might get a lifelong one anyway. I'm not trying to say her in her particular situation, it would even make a difference. But these are things to think about for whenever they come in for your rights and your mama's rights and your daddy's rights and your uncle's rights and your son and your daughter's rights, that we actually have preserved them. Because I think that the system has a perfectly reasonable and efficient way to take care of this woman without having two systems of justice for the mentally ill and the not mentally ill. Because if you're hurting children, you're probably fried. You're probably mentally ill. If you're hurting children, you're probably mentally ill. So then you should be charged criminally no matter what. That's my opinion. Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me.
Is convinced that they've been rehabilitated, they are safety to themselves and to the community. So it still is a long term of supervision and work.
Did she not admit to doing that?
Well, I don't think that this is an issue of a whodunit. I think everyone recognizes the fact that
she done it.
Do it, but that's just one part of it. That's the act. The big question in this case is the why it was done, and that's what this whole
the
case
mens
is gonna be about,
rea.
is the why. How did this happen?
I know you cannot say everything she said, but has she shared with you her feelings about what happened on the 23rd?
He looks disgusted.
Well, she's obviously devastated by what occurred. This is not something by any stretch of the imagination where we could think that someone would wake up and destroy not just their life, but the life of their child. I mean, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting to the bottom of now. But obviously she's devastated with what she is, her family is, everyone.
The way they're using this like Amish mom propaganda on these cops, they're using it on us too. This poor mentally ill mother, she would clearly, this sweet Mennonite Amish lady would never hurt her children if she didn't have a strong mental illness. No, don't fall for it. No. If we're not allowed to get away with it out here, the Amish lady shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. Period. No. Criminal trial for criminals. Period. I'm sick of this mental health this and mental health that. It's stupid. If your mental health is so bad you're killing people, you belong in a cage. Period. Argue with your freaking mama, not me.
Has the family and the Amish community, are they supporting her through this? I know they tried to help her and her husband.
Yeah, so what we have received is support from family and from community members who have known her entire life. What happened on August 23rd, that person is not the person that they know. That's the person that they all believe
it never is
of a mental health episode.
It never is. It never is. I'm not that person. Whenever there's a malignant abuser in a family household, the best abusers, meaning the ones that are very good at it and get away with for a long time, they're so funny, nice, charismatic, just the life of the party. So whenever allegations are made that they're doing horrendous things to their own family, everyone around says, what? No, not him. Definitely not her. They would never. It's these people who you've never seen them crack. You never seen them cry. You never seen them have a little slip up of emotion, a little rage outburst. Never. I am wondering what they're doing inside their house. I mean, some people are like real advanced yogis and stuff. And you can generally tell when people are just blissed out, peaced out. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone that just killed their own kid and they're touching the cop. Like they know nothing's going to happen to them. So yeah, usually whenever there's somebody that's abusing people inside their house, almost always there's at least a few people outside the house that are like, they would never do that. Now, am I saying this woman's been abusing people? No. The people they asked about her know her way better than me. She could have really been having a mental health episode. And I don't mean to diminish that or minimize that. And I'm not saying that that's not real. I know for certain that it is real. What I am saying is, if your real mental health is so bad, you're killing people, you need to be in prison. You don't need to be in a special medicated prison. You need to be in prison because you're a criminal. The voices in your head told you to do something and then you acted on it. That's a whole nother step. So it could be mental illness, but if you can't keep yourself from acting on the mental illness, you need to be stopped forcibly from doing so. And if this hurts your feelings, there's options. Unsubscribing from this channel is the first one I would suggest.
And so they're supportive of her and want to know also how could this have happened, and look at her as a victim of mental health. We all know that mental health is a tremendous issue in the community.
Womp, womp,
We saw
womp.
it here
Womp, womp.
clear as day, and we saw it in its worst form as
Womp,
what can happen
womp.
to someone facing a mental health issue, and certainly unchecked.
Can you
Womp.
speak to what may have precipitated her mental episode as you described?
What do you mean? What may have precipitated it?
Why, on that day, did she go out and toss her child into the lake?
Yeah, so I think what we have, and I think you've seen them, I know your station has seen them also, and we posted them, the body cams from the first responders. We see in real time, we saw raw footage of what was going on in her mind. And
they got
what
people
she
in the
was
chat asking, where is the father? Well, the father's dead. He was in the bottom of the lake. Now we're getting different stories. We're getting different stories on what exactly happened to him. Now, when I first heard that the two family members were found in a lake, I assumed she killed them both. But then the story starts coming out. We did read this at the beginning of the video, but I know there's new people here now from then that weren't here then. The husband, one version of the story that's being told now is that the husband jumped into the lake voluntarily to go swimming to like a sandbank. Like, you know how sometimes if it's lakes or rivers, there's like parts of the lake that'll be kind of like almost an island, but like it doesn't go all the way out of the water, right? It's like just a little bit close to the water, but you could go and walk out there and you could like look like you're walking on it or whatever. So there was like a thing like that at some distance away. He went to swim to it and he drowned it. That's one version of the story. But people are saying, even in this very chat, like, wait, do we really know that? Did the father think he could walk on water? I haven't heard that allegation. I mean, I'd completely disagree with this. The problem with putting actual mental ill people in prison is you're putting the non-mentally ill people in actual danger. Aren't all murderers mentally ill if they're doing like violent murderers? There's absolutely self-defense exceptions and stuff, but I'm talking about people that's hurting kids. What I'm trying to say is these are actually mentally ill people. I mean, I'm not a doctor. Nobody put me in charge, okay? But the husband is dead. That's what they all agree upon, and that's what's being reported. The husband is no longer with us. It's just her. She's the only one living. And then we do know that her kids are basically just like yes men and kids. They're just yes, yes, yes. So it's interesting. I mean, and again, y'all, I don't know if the Amish are claiming her. Okay, I don't know if the Amish are claiming her. I might have to go down to the Columbus Farmers Market on Saturday and ask some of them. Are y'all claiming? I'm going to show them a picture and say, is this a Amish? Because she's out here killing her kid and saying it's y'all. Okay, so is this y'all? Is this the Amish or no? I'm going to go ask them. And might pick up a golden doodle, a mini doodle while I'm at it. Not really.
Too, and so forth. I think this case, what you're going to see in this case is one centered around mental health. And you're going to see the input of many different experts in many different fields who are going to be talking about that exact question that you just posed. So I think what we're going to need on this
many experts in many fields sounds like a lobbyist group who wants to make us all comfortable with like, oh yeah, when people do this, they should be in an asylum. So in 15 years, that is you in the asylum because you spoke out against the tyrannical government or something.
Just making a quick statement would be nothing beyond speculation.
Did the judge just set the bond hearing? Can you tell us when that is?
Yeah, so we did just set the bond hearing. That's going to be September 25th at 1 o'clock. And what you should expect at that hearing is going to be not just your kind of typical argument of, you know,
I wasn't going to talk about it today, Angie. I have seen a few people commenting about it, so I will make a brief statement. I may end up making my own video, its own separate video about this, but I will, since y'all are here, since we're here for the live, I will make a brief comment about this. I did see the fatal unaliving of the Ukrainian refugee lady in North Carolina. It was distressing and disturbing to watch. I know that a lot of commentary and criticism has been going on about the people who just sat by and watched it happen and said nothing. And people have expressed disbelief. People have expressed disbelief that this could happen. But of all the feelings and emotions and thoughts that I had while watching that video that I was forced to watch against my will of a young woman being stabbed to her death and no one doing anything, there is one thing that I can tell you for certain I did not feel, and that was disbelief. I have seen a lot of people try to make this about the races of the individuals. And I will truly believe for a lot of people, that is what it is about. For me, I don't really think that. I don't think it's necessarily a targeted crime because of this girl's race. Okay. I really don't. I don't right now. I mean, I reserve the right to change my mind. What I do think is a little bit race-based, and listen, get ready to click the unsubscribe because I got a little unpopular opinion coming up. What I do think is race-based, or at least contributed to it, wasn't the actual crime. It wasn't that, if it was a crime, I don't know, whatever, innocent until proven guilty. It wasn't the action of taking away somebody's life. That didn't leave me in disbelief. I saw it. It was crazy. It was awful. It left me in shock and a sadness for this poor lady, this poor girl. She looked like, she had her whole life ahead of her and stuff. But like real recently, I have been absolutely for no reason at all and unprovoked attacked in absolutely no way like this. Okay. I do not want to make it seem like it's the same thing. It's not. I know it's not. This girl is dead. She died a violent and horrible death. But the fact that nobody helped her at all, I truly do believe is a result of propaganda, which has made it to where people feel guilty for feeling bad about white women and their suffering. Our suffering, I'll say. I don't give a shit what people think about me. So I don't really need nobody's pity. But I will never forget. The feeling of just like realization that washed over my body when I stood in a federal courthouse in New York City, in Manhattan, just less than 2 months ago, and had someone screeching so loudly at me that it was echoing in the fucking hallways. You don't belong here! Because I'm white. That's why. This ain't for you, it echoed. I'm used to deranged individuals. But what shocked me was that there were federal marshals standing there doing nothing. In fact, and indeed, my federal civil rights were being violated in that moment, by being denied access to a federal court building where my tax dollars pay, and being screamed at by a pack of individuals. And nobody said a word. This happened repeatedly. And not only did no one say a word, whenever other people would try to be nice to me, they would also get attacked too, even if they weren't even white, just white by association. And then they stopped talking to me too. And then in the weeks following it, I had deranged lunatics, liars, going online and lying about me. And the main thing they kept repeating and beating on the drum over and over is that I was just a Karen white lady. And no one should feel bad about her because those tears aren't real. It's fake. She's full of shit. She has no problems because she has a smaller amount of melanin in her body than we all cousins. I know that. But I do also recognize I'm not stupid. There's racism against Black people. There's racism against people of color. But one thing that didn't surprise me, not one bit, was that nobody came to help her. That didn't surprise me. Actually, that's exactly what I expected. And in a way, one silver lining from this deplorable case is that now people do have to actually look at it and confront it. Now, that isn't me saying this guy targeted her because she's white, he's black, he should get it's a hate crime. I'm not saying anything about that, okay? I'm kind of interested in what the guy's saying about, he said he got those materials in his body made him do it. I'm interested in what that's all about. But yeah, I will let y'all know, for the cousins in the chat, for y'all who can handle it. It's been pretty like unsympathetic to white women out here for quite a while. And the irony is everybody likes to repeat, oh, white women get this special treatment. And it's like, yeah, maybe if you're Amish Sue over here, maybe she does. I've never been able to put my fucking hands on a cop. I can't even raise my voice without getting pointed at and hollered at. Okay. It ain't like that for all of us. I can guarantee you that. Now, that's not me saying I don't acknowledge there's privileges with some institutions of being white. There's privileges with certain cops are racist. I totally know that. It's not like I'm trying to deny that. But we've created a culture, and I participated in it myself. I participated in it myself in the woke cult. I was fully bathed in the blood. Okay. I was in it. Of diminishing certain people's feelings because their race or their gender, when really we never should have started doing that. We should just all be able to say anybody, any race should be able to sit on a bus, Rosa Parks said it, in any seat and not lose their life for it. Of any race, of any national origin, nobody should sit on a bus and lose their life looking at their phone by a violent and deranged individual. If we can't all agree on that, you on the wrong channel. And what I've been saying about Ruth Miller applies to him too. If he's so mentally ill that he can't keep his shit together without stabbing somebody to death, he needs to be in a cage too, just like Ruth Miller. Maybe they could be next to each other and teach each other how to do hobby crafts or something in the cage, for all I give a shit. I know it's a radical concept that we should all be treated equally under the law, but it's kind of what I think.
Evidence that addresses the factors that the court's going to consider. So I would expect at that hearing, as evidenced by the motion that will be filed here momentarily, that evidence will be put on certainly by the defense. We'll be calling family members of Ruth Miller's. We'll be calling members of the Tuscarawas County Sheriff's Department. And
that's another good point. I wanted to be done with this topic for this video, but I do want to address this. Thank you, Shannon. Not for nothing, but why would people try to help these days when look what happened whenever people do try to help people? It's true. We definitely, and I say we, have all kind of contributed to this don't snitch culture just as much. I'm freaking snitching. Don't snitch is over. If I see something, I'm saying something. Don't do it in front of me. Don't do it around me. Don't tell me about it. If I see it, I'm saying it. Because we got to start actually okay, we can't just be looking at our phone when somebody's bleeding out to death. Please. Please.
Clinic.
Thank you.
Can you give us your name again, please?
Yeah, Ian Friedman and Madeline Grant are both counsel for Ruth Miller.
Ian, will you be seeking some kind of bond?
We will, yes, we will be seeking a bond, yes.
You don't have a specified amount yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you will be trying to bring through the police conclusion of the hearing.
We will.
And what you tell us, I understand the confidentiality of play, but what kind of
Oh, did it end? Oh, I guess that's it. Okay, that's it. So that's the Amish lady, girl. That's the Amish lady. She's pleading insanity. I have issues with her pleading insanity for many reasons, which I've outlined here. I'm kind of like, what's this even pleading insanity bullcrap even at all? I definitely can see how there maybe should be a place for the criminally insane where they do keep maximum security or whatever, but maybe not. I think that the prison will be able to handle this Amish lady. I think they'll be able to handle her. It looks like if she started running, she couldn't get too far. It looks like if she started fighting, that the cops could just do a little Brazilian jiu-jitsu move or two and she'd be done. So, I mean, do we need a whole extra criminal insane asylum for this woman to go to? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And that's with me knowing that she probably got serious, you know, sociopath problems. But like, that's where I'm like, okay, if you can hurt a kid, why are you not considered to be insane just by the fact you even just did that? You know, I'm not talking about if somebody gets drugged and they don't know it and something makes them, you know, that's not what I'm talking about. Was she drugged? I don't know. We'll have to see the toxicology report. I really don't know. Anyway, okay, well, that's all I wanted to say for that one. I may be back later. I may not. It's 2:22 right now. That's all I really had for that one. I might be back later. I might make a little video later. I don't know. I definitely do have a very exciting special presentation of BJ Investigates coming most likely tomorrow. It's going to be like an hour and 10 minutes long, and it's about, well, let's just say it's the webbing with Adam, 16-gram Mason, Nova, the 13-year-old runaway from Soft White Underbelly, which brings in Mark Leta, brings in Tanea, brings in the Hoover Street criminal organization allegations and all of that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, most likely tomorrow in BJ Investigates. And yeah. That's all I really have for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Neither are opinions. These people are all innocent until proven guilty. Please don't contact any of them. Love you, Mina K. Bye.